Alrighty guys, so here it is in the flesh. The Illest Tarot deck. Now the Illest Tarot deck is by KP, and I will link her below. And KP is a great artist. And let's dive right in, because this is full of 90s goodness. Okay, so very sturdy bubble wrap that's holographic, so that's like super fashionable. And then we have this lovely little note. Oh, thank you so much. And we keep unwrapping and unwrapping, and we get our first taste. Now, the back shows Tori Amos, Three of Cups, the Star. Alright, let's check it out. And who are we going to see? Well, this box is really nice, first of all. I'm really hyped about who we're going to see, but the box is very clear. It has a kind of watercolor-ish atmosphere to it, but it's very direct, and I like that. It's not super airy. Ooh, the Fool. That's the girls from Broad City. Alright, so let me get this out of the plastic and then we'll talk. And my tea's ready. So real quick, off the bat, I want to say this box is great. It is one of the better boxes, definitely better than a tuck box. It's a two-piece box that's very sturdy cardboard. And while it's not like the fountain that has the magnetic that just like outshines everybody, that little magnetic strip, and that's my cat running around, my apologies, it is still incredibly good. So 4.5 out of 5 stars on the box. Now, the whole idea of this is that it's music and pop culture people from like the 90s, and I really like the handwritten, basically tarot guide and explanation. So this is really cool. We'll do another bit about this in a second. And on top of that, I was kind of shocked because I wanted, you know, like Tupac and all this other stuff. But right off the bat, we get the Fool. This is hilarious because the Fool's from our time, and it's like we're the Fool going on the journey. And this is, I think, Abby and Alana. I'm not really sure of the names. The chicks from Broad City. Lisa Bonet for Denise Huxtable. That's cool. Tori Amos. Now, let's see. Some of these people I'm not familiar with. So let's pull out the handy dandy list she provided. And that's Sade. So that's pretty cool. And then we have the Emperor, which is Ricky from My So-Called Life. And then we have Miss Lauren Hill for the Hierophant. I actually had to look up who this was. This is Liz Phair. Janet Jackson for the Chariot, you know, because she broke away and paved her own path. Miss Mary J. Blige for Strength. Couldn't really pick anyone better. Ooh, is that's Fiona Apple for the Hermit. She is a hermit, you know, like I think she lives in a beach house and doesn't talk to anybody. Bjork for the Wheel of Fortune. Let's see. Mos Def. And this is Chloe Sevigny. And I actually didn't know she was an artist in the 90s. I just know her as an actress. Ooh, Beyonce's death. This makes so much sense because she can like change any situation. And she goes through a lot of changes. Oh, Temperance is Andre 3000. The Devil as Courtney Love. Oh, Heck yeah. Look at that. And the black cat's coming. She knows what's up. My girl, Fairuza Banks. The Tower. Oh, this is Alanis Morissette as the star. I dig it. Ooh, and the moon for the moon. Is this Erykah Badu? I don't want to, like, misspeak here. Yeah, it is Erykah Badu. Ah, who's more sunny than Drew Barrymore? Look at that. And this is actually the reason I bought this deck, because I don't really like Courtney Love. Like, as a person who likes rock and a feminist, I still don't like her. And I adored Kurt Cobain, and I still adore Kurt Cobain. And the fact that he's on the Judgment card, and I think on his journal it says, read this and you will judge me, or something, and it's just perfect. This has got to be RuPaul. And RuPaul is the world. Okay, I get it. I get the symbolism here. And so here we have the basic, like, suit cards, which are fairly basic. Now, my big test of understanding and such is, would these cards here, the suits, or the court cards for this suits, my cat's going crazy, match with them? Like, Wands is about creativity. Excuse me, I woke up and did this video, that's why you're not going to see my face. So would the court cards for Wands match that? So, let's see. Queen of Wands. I don't know who that is. Is it? I don't know. Let's see. Knight of Wands. Once again, I don't know. I'll have to look these up, and I'll put these in the description below. Let me just throw a card. And look at that. This one I do know. This is Mary J. Blige, and King of Wands is perfect. And now we're getting into Pentacles, which Pentacles deals with money and finances and, like, home life, right? So, of course, the King of Pentacles is Oprah, and that's fucking wonderful. Yes. And Queen of Pentacles is Reese Witherspoon. And, you know, I bet she has plenty of money. She looks like she has a good home life. Hopeful. Whoa. And the Knight of Pentacles is Mary-Kate and Ashley. And that makes perfect sense. And so here's the Pentacle cards. We'll just flip through them. They're pretty standard, not... I mean, they're special because they are beautiful, and I like the grounded yet airy balance they have. It's not like the Fountain Tarot. It's not like the Star Child Tarot. It's very, it's a present deck. It's not one that's just gonna wild out and be very hard to understand. I can see this being an easy deck to read, or even an easy deck for a beginner who's been into pop culture. That you might not know what you might not know what the Chariot means, but you know what Janet Jackson did, right? And my son's over here agreeing with me. So now we're in Cups, and Cups deals with emotions. So let's see who...
Just the right cups. Whoa.
So let's see what the cups are.
Cups ready.
Ooh, King of Cups is Tupac, a very emotional guy. I dig it. Yes, my girl, Winona Ryder is the Queen of Cups. Oh, yeah. And I think this is Claire Danes from, like, Dawson's Creek or something. I'll look into it. Page of Cups, that's good. I'm not sure who this is for the Queen of Cups, but it does look very Queen of Cups, and as the vibe here. And so now we have the sword cards, which I like. Some of the backgrounds are kind of like fragmented light. Some are soft watercolor. It really helps carry the vibe of the card. And another thing I'm really particular about with my decks is the back. The backs have to be able to be reversed for me, and that can happen here. So these cards could be used to do reversal readings. Now, let's see who they have for swords, for communication, for ideas, for education, intellectual pursuits. I wanted to say this was Dave Grohl, but I have no idea who this is. So I'll look it up and I'll list them below, because the little list only gives us so many.
The word.
And the Queen of Swords is that girl from Charmed. It's pretty cool. I'll have to look up her name. And to be honest, I'm really confused about the Knight of Swords, because this looks just like, I think her name's Robin Toomey, the chick from The Craft with her head shaved, but it also kind of looks like Sinead O'Connor, so I'm going to look this up. And then, of course, for the Page of Swords, we have Kirsten Bell, and I'm pretty sure this is as Veronica Mars, which makes sense. So let's talk about it some more in just a second. Alright, so this is my unboxing of the Illest Tarot, and it does come with this really cool tarot sheet, which gives you a breakdown of the major arcana and who's in it. And then it gives general stuff about the suits and the minor arcana, but it doesn't tell you who the court cards are. And I'm not familiar with all of them, so I'll have to look it up. Now, I do have some of my favorites here from the deck, just from a first glance. And as you can see, together they all read very well. It's pretty cool. The details there. And I'm a fan of collage style decks anyway. There's my son over here in his little Mario shirt. Sorry, he's really into tarot. So now I'm going to have a cup of tea, get to know these cards, and I'm going to do what I suggest all of you do, and do a deck interview, and do a little journaling throughout the day. I'm just going to be pulling each suit out, and journal what that means to me. Now this sheet that comes with it is really cool because it breaks down the numerology of tarot, as well as the suit meaning, so you can basically understand here what a Six of Wands means, right? So this one's really cool, and this is a very good intro deck. I like this beyond a little white book because it's concise and you can keep it in your pocket. It's really cool, and I think this would be a perfect deck for someone in the broom closet, maybe, because it's not super tarot-y, and it's not super tarot-y, and it is easy to say, no, I just bought it because it had Kurt Cobain or Drew Barrymore on it, or no, Mom, it's Beyonce. And like, I feel like parents, if they find it, would be a little more pliable to it. Alright, so that is it for my unboxing of the Illest Tarot, and I will do some readings with it and have a review coming up in just a second, so stay tuned. So, for those of you curious, this deck is amazing, and real quick, I'm just going to address the change of background. This is my living room, and like, we're total punk rock kids at heart with like skateboards and band posters and stuff. So this might be my new setup. I know my cat's really curious over there. She might come into the frame on the camera, but that is the deal. So, I bought this deck, and I messaged Christy Prokopiak. I'll get it right. I'm sorry, Christy. And I did the unboxing, played around with it, did some readings, and did some deck interviews. And then I actually posted the review to my blog, The Angry Alchemist Posts at WordPress.com, or theangryalchemistposts.wordpress.com. The link's down there, guys. The link's down there. So I posted the review, she liked it, and I'm going to go ahead, finish out the video, you know? This is an energy exchange. We're going to do it. I'm doing it, Christy. Here's my thoughts. First of all, this deck is amazing. This is a very sturdy two-piece box, because your girl hates tuck boxes, and y'all know it. And I have messed with the deck some since it... how should I say? It came in a different order of cards than it is now. So give me just a second. Well, packaging was great. It came in a bubble mailer, and it came in about 4 days, which I think was really reasonable time, because she's out in, I think, California. So, no problems there. So I open this deck, right? First thing I see, and my dog's probably behind me. First thing I see is this. The box is pretty cool, and that's what the basic cards look like. It's the amount of the suit of cards, you know, 4 of cups, 5 of swords, with just a color wash background. So this deck's awesome, so I don't want to call anything about it nothing special, but there isn't really any extra symbolism or human figures. So the whole deck is totally something special, but those cards just didn't have any figures interacting with like the pentacle or the sword, so there's that. But it was magical because as soon as I opened the deck, I saw Abby and Alana from Broad City, and you know, that's how it goes. I'll link the description. I'll link in the description, how about that, the complete list, right? But I can do a little bit of a quick flip through here. Chloe Sevigny is the Hanged Man. Fiona Apple. I think this is Likely. Yeah, Likely. Lisa Bonet. And here's what I meant. We've got washes of colors and just the items in the suits. Drew Barrymore as the sun, which is pretty perfect. And don't worry, I'm not going to set it on fire. I have like a little candle there. We got Liz Phair as the lovers. So this deck, the cardstock is very nice. No complaints there. It is $50. So for a $50 deck, like I said, it doesn't bother me because it's indie, but usually if I'm paying that much, I expect like a full little white book and a magnetic clasp on it. Those are kind of like the Lexus marks of a deck that weren't really here. And this is actually the reason I got the deck, was for Kurt Cobain as the Judgment card. And I don't like Courtney Love, and Courtney Love's the devil, and I had to have it after that. So we've got all of this. There's a bunch of people on my initial flip through. I didn't know who they were. Beyonce is the death card. Beautiful. Lauryn Hill. RuPaul. Veronica Mars, which is great, as the Page of Swords. And then we've got Ricky from My So-Called Life. And we keep going, right? I'm flipping through really fast, but sorry. I flipped through a little bit slower in the unboxing. So this will be the second time you guys see these cards in this video. The cardstock, once again, like I said, it's pretty good. Not too thick, not too thin. The back is great. My pet peeve with tarot decks is, do you allow for reversals? And these do. So it allows for reversals in readings. And there is some, you know, action and romance in even just the plain cards. They're still pretty cool. Mary J. Blige is Strength, which is perfect. Yeah. Goodness. I think this is... Oh man, I know her name, but I'm forgetting it. I'll remember it. Isak Brock. Winona Ryder. Let me switch hands here. This is getting a little... Oh, and Mary-Kate and Ashley. This. Courtney Love is the devil. Reese Witherspoon. Felicity Porter. Bjork is the Wheel of Fortune, which is pretty cool. This is Robin Toomey, but she's playing someone from Empire Records. It's really cool. Now, the justifications of why she picked these people I'll actually link down below, and there is an online tarot guide that goes into a little bit more detail and gives the full Little White Book meanings, but I'll show you, you've seen the version of the Little White Book, the note. So, Method Man and Red Man, Alanis Morissette, Janet Jackson, Oprah. Love this one. Sade. So, Mary getting there, guys. Tori Amos. Mos Def. Andre 3000. TLC. And Erykah Badu. Now, some quick points. Is this deck worth $50? Yes, it is. Is this a good deck for a collection? Yes. Am I completely happy with everything? I'm just cheap and I wish it wasn't 50, but I totally understand why it's 50 and it's worth every penny. Now, the energy I get from this deck is very direct, very, here's how it is. But it's almost like talking to a friend that's gonna say, oh, you know, stump him. So it's somewhere between airy and earthy, if that makes sense. It's not like the fountain, but it's not like the wooden tarot. There's kind of a middle ground there, where it's gonna be very direct, but it's also gonna, how do I say it? It's just gonna shove the truth in your lap. It's not gonna bitch slap you with it, if that makes sense. The energy I get. I do get a feminine energy from it, and it's not prideful, but in the deck interviews I did with this deck, it knows that I got the 10 of Wands when I asked it, what is your role? It knows it's an act of completion of someone's like project. And to me, it likes to speak about money a lot, you know, very pentacle energy vibe coming from this and what you can do in your life to more get it together. So it's a very guidance deck, so I would think this is great for self-work, but also for reading dear friends and family. It's easy to read because, for example, you might not know what the devil means, but you know what Courtney Love did. So I would say this is the perfect deck for a beginner or to give as a gift to get someone into tarot, because if you're not traditionally into tarot, you're probably into TLC, so it gives people an in, and it's a great deck for someone who's in the broom closet, and that's why I wanted to review it, because my husband is dead set against tarot, but when I told him I ordered a tarot deck with Kurt Cobain in it, all of a sudden he was okay with me ordering it and wanting to see the cards. I even said, hey baby, can you sit with me and help me? I try to identify, I'm not sure I know who all these people were, and he was actually touching and flipping through tarot cards. So, yes, I love it, I would recommend it, it's great, I dig it. It's a good deck, the back's great, the packaging's great. You saw in the unboxing portion the little love note that came with it. Good job, Christy, summing up the meaning of tarot, the numerology of tarot, and the Fool's Journey on a notebook-sized sheet of paper. I love it. It just feels like somebody slid you a note in math class. You know what I mean? Like it feels kind of sneaky. I dig it. Feels like a love note. Or a playlist, like for a mixtape. That was my first thought, one of my first thoughts with it. Can I help you? My cat just tried to kill me. So I would definitely say if you're thinking about buying this deck and you have the funds available, it's $55 with shipping. You can get it directly from the site below. Christy's great. Support what she does. Indie decks for Evs. This deck's awesome. Check it out. Hey everyone, be sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button. That way you can get alerts when I post and we can all stay in touch.